Welcome back, my friends. So now we are continuing with our design. So in a previous video we designed we designed our bottom action bar, so, and a floating pattern. So now we are continuing to coding. So for those who are new, please look for floating pattern A video, so that you watch first, then you come to coding. So now, or you can go straight and download my application, so that you will see all the lesson. So now, as you see, I created a floating pattern, then I initialized as a starting floating pattern, as a starting floating, then a navigation pattern equals to find view by navigation view. So this is the UI, this is the ID of our bottom navigation. So now we will start calling our navigation view, so that we initialize our main menu patterns for signing up and start.
So now we call our bottom navigation. So we say bottom navigation. So I'm calling this word. Okay. So dot set on navigation listener. So we choose the selecting listener. Okay, then we say new. Okay, so now it's now okay. So now I want to, inside this we want to create, so we will say switch, so that we'll be switching between patterns. So we say switch r dot id dot, then we want to call this id, so you can sign up. So you can say sign up. Sorry, before we add this sign up, we want to call the switch item. So we say item dot get item id. Okay, so we open. Okay, so now we want to call the case. So we say case r dot id dot sign up. So you can start by signing in. It's okay. Then at the bottom of this we call a start activity. So to make this video short, I'll come and copy this. So you are signing in, so I'll cut for this login, then I'll paste it here. Then I want to break this, so we call a break. Okay, so now as you see, I can copy this again, then I paste it below here, then I say sign up. Okay, then here I'll call my registration activity. So it's very simple. So now it's okay like this. Then at the bottom we'll say return false. It's okay like that. So now we are done. It's now okay. Then we want to call on start. Okay, so on start, then we want to, so on start we want to create a dialog, so that the user will show a privacy policy. If you want to show the privacy policy or a welcome dialog, so I'll show you. So we'll say show, then we say privacy policy. Okay, then we say dialog. So like this, then we create this outside. Inside this you want to call if, so we say if. Okay, so inside this you want to put exclamation mark, then we call our preferences. So if the preference manager, so I want to call a preference manager dot get default preferences. Then inside this, we want to call a private dialog show. In capital letters, private. Okay, so you want to create a private dialog on top. So scroll up, then you can type this. Okay, so I'll come down here, then I'll call this a private dialog show. Okay, so outside this, then I will before that I'll put it to false, so that it will be false always. Okay, so inside here we want to call a string, so we'll call a string, then we say private, then this is a private policy. Okay, so now we create a string. So in a string, it depends on what you want to do. So at first, we can create a link of your website, if you have a website, or where people can read your private policies. So we'll say href. This is the link. So inside this, we write, for example, we can say HTTPS. Okay, then you call your website here. So I'll say example.com. Okay, so this will be your website. Then I'll close this. Okay, so then I'll write private policy. Then I put a semicolon. Okay, so this is a ref, it's a website or it's a link. Okay, then we call our ref, then equals to a website. This is your website. Then this is the one that will appear on our policy. Okay, so if you want to add a T's and C's, or you want to add something again, you can duplicate this, then you add your website here. So for example, we can say stroke, then we say this is a policy. Okay, so let's say your policy is the page from your website, so it will look like this. Okay, so now let's call our dialog. So we say alert dialog, then we say dialog equal to new alert dialog, dot build. Then we call this then we say a dot set a cancelable, so that the user will not cancel this, but must use buttons. Okay, so then we say dot set message, Okay, so now before we add message inside this, I want to call the HTML dot from. Okay, so inside this we'll create a string, so then I'll write a message. Okay, so I can say welcome to So now you want to set a positive pattern. Then inside this we write accept. Okay. Then we say now we say new dialog interface. Okay. So out of this we want to dot want to cancel dot negative button, then you say again, then you say comma, then you say new dialog. So then here we say dot create. Okay, so now bottom of this we want to say dialog dot show. Then at the bottom we want to call our text view, so we say text view. Say text view equals to dialog dot So now our dialog is now ready, but there's something that we must do. So here, if this user decline, so we just say dialog. We want to dismiss this dialog. Okay, so then if the user accepts the terms, so it's where we start. So we say dialog interface. Okay, so now inside accept here we want to call our login. So okay, so now our dialog is now ready. So we want to dismiss this dialog. So let's test by saying then we apply. Okay, so this message, this code will disable our dialog for the next time and save our preference that we accepted our terms and conditions. So let's come to here. So we want to set a title here. So we set a title. Okay, so I want to copy this. Then I'll paste it here. Okay, so I want to copy this code. I wrote this message, it's a small message to save time. Then I'll paste it here. Okay, then I'll put a plus here. Then I will say copy this. Then here I want to call this private link. Okay, so it's now okay. Then I can say plus, then say off of this application. Okay, so now it's okay like this. So now you are done. Then we will come back on the next video. So you want to sign in user automatic. So I'll show you how to do that. You sign the user automatic so that every user that get inside the application must be acceptable using the password and the email. So I'll show you how to do that. So now let's remove this registration and login buttons. Okay, so what we want to do, we want if the user being accepted, we want to disable the floating pattern. Okay, so it's better to create this on a global. So like this, then so that if I come here, I'll come here and disable. So I want to show this logic. So I'll say start dot set Okay, so now let's run the project and see if our dialog is working. Then before we run, we want to remove these register buttons. Then we leave the launch button. So now it's okay like this, and I want to duplicate this floating pattern. So now let's create an arrow here, or asset. So let's carry this arrow. Then we change this to continue. Then we change this color. Okay, so now we want to close this button. Then we make it visible. So this is always hidden, so we set it invisible. So we say visibility, then invisible. Okay, so we remove this button. Then we come to our main menu. We remove all register button. We remove this. Then this launch. Okay, so now it's ready. Okay, so now it's ready. So now let's run the project. Yeah, so it's working. So it's working. So if I accept, the pattern changes the color. So it's okay. On the next video, on the next video, we want to auto login user. So we'll provide a guest email for guest users, so that the users will use UIDs to sign into the app. Okay, so I think it's now okay. So thank you for watching. So for this code,